Cenk, let's start with you. We've kind of gotten everybody's emotions here through the first hour. Got to get yours as well. Obviously, you're happy. Your guy won. What about the historical significance of the Barack Obama win? Were you touched by that?
Well, you know, I have a couple of emotions. One is I'm overjoyed, of course, about the Obama win and what it means for the country. The second emotion is complete relief. You know, I wasn't sure we were ever going to make through these dark Bush years, and I'm ecstatic that we have. And what does it mean? It means that equality of opportunity in America is true. It sends a message to the whole world. You know, we weren't kidding around. The American dream is absolutely for real. And anybody can come here and become a citizen and one day maybe even become president. And it sends a terrific message to the world and a terrific message to all of our citizens.
2004, and then we'll flip it to what happened in 2008. There's the Bush win in 2004. That's a pretty red map there, John. Let's take a look at what happened last night. 2008 election. Things changed. What should be most troubling, John, for the Republicans as they look at this? It's got to be the North Carolina was not a victory, and Virginia flips, along with Ohio.
Yeah. No, what should be disturbing is that they're on defense. Republicans are on defense. Democrats are on offense. The party of Lincoln has a serious diversity problem on its bench, and it has only itself to blame for that.
Carla in Iowa. Carla, are you excited this day, or are you disappointed?
Well, I have a son that's in Afghanistan, and I'm worried about the way Obama's going to handle it. I don't feel he addressed the issue.
Cenk, what about that? She's questioning Barack Obama's ability to lead us militarily. What do you say to that?
Well, there's a lot to say here among all the things that have gone on. First of all, I got to stop the talk of party of Lincoln. Yet the Republicans were the party of Lincoln when they were the liberal party, but they're not the liberal party anymore. They're the conservative party. And they have run toward their base, and they've honestly run hateful campaigns. That's why they're losing. They can't attract minorities, not because they don't physically have minorities in the party, but it's because they don't have any ideas that appeal or any principles that appeal to the minorities. Now, on foreign policy, I think Barack Obama was exactly right on Afghanistan. I honestly don't know what her concern was. I think we haven't paid enough attention to that war, and Obama says we should. And I think most foreign policy analysts agree with him, and eventually John McCain wound up agreeing with him.
The American people are overwhelmingly in the center, and if you want to compete, if you want to revitalize a party, you need to reclaim the center.
Then explain to me how you can have a guy that's a moderate like John McCain who did not do well. You look at other people like Bob Dole, Elizabeth Dole, and others who Elizabeth Dole lost last night. She's what we consider a moderate. Zaxby Chambliss, who is a moderate, who's having a hard time in Georgia right now. I mean, I'm sorry, I know my own party a little bit better than moderates do, and I can tell you, Sarah Palin is the reason why people loved her. Let me finish. The reason why people loved her and she gave life to John McCain's campaign is because she actually was a true conservative.
Ben, you're going to be preaching to a bunch of people in a phone booth if you don't stop this. New England doesn't have a single Republican left. Is that a sign of strength or a sign of weakness?
Cenk, let me ask you this. We were talking about, obviously, John's for the middle. And what do you think Barack Obama's doing? Is there a concern, or do you want him to grab the wheel and take the country hard left?
Hard left. We haven't seen hard left in so long, I don't know what it looks like. I loved what Ben was saying in the last segment. I wanted him to keep on talking. He's 1,000,000% wrong. Hey, you keep going towards the right, see what happens. You're heading off a cliff, dude, and you don't even realize it. There's nobody left in the country. You want to run Sarah Palin? Have at it, Hoss. Make my day. Please run her in 2012.
Cenk, what you don't understand is when I say go back to the core values, I didn't say go to the far right of the party. What I said was go back to our core issues, which is to be fiscally responsible with budgets, be strong with our military, and have less government. All three things that is opposite of what Barack Obama wants. I didn't say go and hang out with the far extreme Christian right, which is what you're implying.
Yeah,
what I said was go back to our core values. Ronald Reagan wasn't some crazy fundamentalist. He was fundamentally sound in his thinking on those three issues.
No, he wasn't. Hold it. I got to get in. Ben, what about the Christian conservative? Or you want to leave them at the side of the road now? Is that what you're saying?
I think the Christian conservatives have come a little bit more towards the middle, but I think the reality is that, let me finish. I know this party a lot better than you do. You're the Democrat, I'm the Republican, okay? If you want to be a Republican, come on over. But if you look at the Christian conservatives, I think younger generation like myself has come a little bit more over. It's very simple politics. It is you make your principles here and you stick with them and you don't let people claim to be a part of something that they're not and they water it down and end up ruining your party, which is exactly what's happened in this country with the conservative movement. We've lost the real conservatives.
You know, they say nonsense things like, oh, you know, the core Republican value is being strong in the military. Really, what, other people want to be weak in the military?
Joe Biden said he's going to cut funding by 25%.
No. Hey,
Your own vice
presidential
presidential elect.
spending? You know who wanted to cut defense spending in this campaign? John McCain. He said it a number of times.
Well,
I don't have to
you guys just
that.
won. You don't have
I
to
actually
anymore.
want to give him credit.
Gentlemen.
There's wasteful spending and smart
Got
spending.
it. John Avalon, give me 20 seconds before we go to break.
Here, the reason that independents are the largest and fastest growing segment of the American electorate is because the parties are hugely polarized, but the American people are not. And when the scream fest happens the far left and the far right, people tune out and look for
All right, there you go.
It's real.
Much more coming up.
The fact is, Barack Obama did not get where he is today without the help and support of many, 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 many white people in America. That's the reason why he was able to beat Hillary Clinton. And that's the part that's so encouraging. Put politics aside for a minute. What was exciting about last night is I think we've genuinely turned the corner when it comes to racism in America, where the majority of Americans do not look at the color of someone's skin. And that was the one thing last night that I could watch and go, you know what, this is pretty cool.
Right. Cenk, you agree with that?
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. More than him being African-American or not, I love the concept that it shows that it's anybody in America can do it.
Absolutely.
You know, when George W. Bush won, people thought, yeah, but his dad was the president and, you know, his grandfather was a senator, etc. With Barack Obama, there's no disputing it. I mean, he really came out of nowhere to be able to do
Amen
this.
to that one.
Listen,
You know, I think we do want a good-spirited debate on each side, but when it does get mean-spirited, people don't like it. And let's be honest, guys, when it's Cenk and Ben yelling over the top of each other, people don't like that either. Then I'm yelling, John's yelling, trying to get in.
No, but here's the thing. You have to realize, look, we get painted as left or right. I was a Republican until 2003. And what Ben doesn't get is that caller that John was referring to, I think his name was John as well, retired Air Force down in Florida, he made the best point of this whole show. He said, look, they lost us, man. I mean, I was in favor of budgets that were balanced, but Clinton gave us that, Reagan didn't, Bush didn't, etc. I mean, you lost us on the issues. That's what you're missing, Ben.
On that issue, we actually agree, and I said it to him.
Let's end right there on a point of agreement. Thank you so much. All right.